Before we dive in, I want you to do one small thing that could make a huge difference. Hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch this. Be part of the journey with me as we uncover stories, history, and treasures that might just blow your mind. You'll thank me later. Now, imagine holding a coin in your hand. Not just any coin, but a piece of history, a small disc that carried the weight of a nation on its shoulders, quietly witnessing decades unfold. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that many might overlook, yet its story and value are extraordinary. I'm talking about the 2 cents coin from 1994 from South Africa. You might think, it's just 2 cents. How much could it possibly be worth? But that's exactly where most people get it wrong. This coin is not just currency, it's a symbol. 1994 was no ordinary year in South Africa. It was the year that marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new dawn. Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president, and the country took its first steps toward a democratic future. This coin was minted during that pivotal moment in history. Every time someone dropped it or passed it to another person, it carried more than monetary value. It carried hope, change, and the pulse of a nation transforming itself. Now, let's talk about the design. On one side, you'll find the national emblem, a quiet but proud reminder of South Africa's heritage. On the other side, a delicate image of a common yet symbolic motif. It's easy to overlook, but that subtle craftsmanship, that attention to detail, is what makes coins like this sought after by collectors worldwide. Coins tell stories that textbooks can't. And for those of us who appreciate history in our hands, that story becomes more than just numbers. It becomes a tangible connection to the past. Here's something most people don't realize. Coins from 1994 are incredibly special because of their limited minting. Unlike mass-produced coins, these were struck in specific quantities, making them rare. And rarity, when combined with historical significance, is the coin collector's secret sauce. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin powerful. Condition matters too. The shine, the crispness of the edges, and the clarity of the imagery can turn a coin from a modest collectible into a coveted treasure. For men like us, who grew up witnessing shifts in the world and collecting moments as much as things, coins like this are not just money, they're memories. Holding it is like holding a piece of your own life timeline. You can imagine the transactions it went through, the hands it passed, the stories it silently observed. Every nick, every scratch, every gleam tells a story that you can feel in your fingers. It's an experience that a photograph or a story alone can never give you. And if you're thinking this is just about history, think again. Coins are also an investment, a way to secure something that grows more valuable as time marches on. In the world of numismatics, the 2 cents 1994 coin has a fascinating allure. Collectors around the globe are aware of its significance, and they are willing to pay handsomely for a coin that is in exceptional condition. It's not just about owning a coin. It's about possessing a piece of history, a piece of legacy. Let's make it real for a moment. Picture yourself showing this coin to a friend or a grandson, explaining the story behind it. You're not just sharing a coin, you're sharing a moment frozen in time. And when they realize that what seems like a humble 2 cents coin could be worth something extraordinary, the conversation changes. Suddenly, it's not just about the coin. It's about the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, the excitement of understanding value beyond face value. And there's another layer that makes this coin even more intriguing: its symbolism. Coins like this often reflect a nation's pride, its struggles, and its victories. South Africa in 1994 was a country reborn, and this coin was a silent witness. Owning it is like holding a piece of that transformation. It's an artifact, a reminder of resilience and hope, and a way to connect with history in a way that is tangible, immediate, and surprisingly personal. Now, I know what you're thinking. All of this is fascinating, but what is it really worth? And here's where it gets truly interesting. While many coins from that era may trade for small amounts in everyday circulation, the 2 cents 1994 coin, if preserved well and sought after by the right collectors, carries a value that can truly astonish. Collectors who understand its historical significance, its rarity, and its pristine condition are willing to pay a price that most would never imagine. That I won't keep you waiting any longer. A 2-cent coin from 1994, in exceptional condition, with the story of South Africa embedded in its very metal, can fetch an incredible amount. Ready for this? Some of these coins have been known to reach values close to $5 million in the right circumstances. That's not a typo. A coin that seems so modest at first glance can hold a fortune, both historically and financially. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest objects carry the heaviest stories and the greatest rewards. So, whether you're a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or just someone who appreciates the thrill of discovery, the 2-cent 1994 coin is a treasure that commands attention. And here's a little secret. The next time you pick up a coin, really look at it. Think about the story it carries, the hands it has passed through, and the moments it has silently witnessed. You never know which seemingly ordinary object could hold extraordinary value. And remember, if you enjoyed this deep dive into history and hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button now. Join a community that uncovers the stories behind everyday objects, treasures that go beyond money, and moments that connect us with the past in ways we never imagined. Don't just watch history, own a piece of it.
Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss stories like this, where history, mystery, and incredible finds come alive right here. Now, let's talk about something that might just surprise you, a small coin, seemingly ordinary, yet holding a story that could change everything you thought you knew about collectibles. Today, we're going to explore a coin that many might overlook, but those who know its significance. The 2-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1997. At first glance, it's tiny, easy to ignore, maybe even tossed in a drawer or a coin collection somewhere gathering dust. But within that small, unassuming circle of copper, there's a world of history, symbolism, and yes, potential value that could astonish you. You see, coins are more than just currency. They are time machines, frozen pieces of history. Every line, every inscription, even the color of the metal, tells a story about the nation it comes from, the era it was minted in, and the people who used it. And the 2-cent coin from South Africa, in 1997, is no exception. Let's start with the design. On one side, you'll find the iconic South African national emblem, representing the country's rich and complex heritage. Every detail was carefully chosen to reflect unity, resilience, and the journey of a nation emerging into a new era. On the reverse, there's a simple numeral 2, accompanied by the word cents. But simplicity here is deceptive. Beneath that minimalism lies a craft of precision minting and a record of a time when South Africa was redefining itself. Now, for many of you, coins are not just about history, they are about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery. Perhaps you're sitting at home with a collection inherited from a parent or grandparent. Maybe you stumbled upon a few coins in a jar tucked away in the attic. What if among them is this very coin, quietly waiting to tell you its story? The 1997 South African 2-cent coin was minted in a limited batch during a transitional period in South Africa's history. Unlike coins that were produced in millions, some mint years saw lower numbers, making them rarer than they appear at first glance. Collectors often talk about eye appeal and condition. A coin that is uncirculated, with its original sheen intact, can be worth significantly more than one that's been through daily transactions. And here's the fascinating part. South African coins from the late 1990s are increasingly sought after by collectors worldwide. There's a blend of nostalgia and history that makes them appealing to those who lived through that era, and even to those who appreciate coins purely as works of art. Every scratch, every glint of copper, tells a story, and coins like the 1997 2 cents are becoming historical treasures rather than just spare change. Let's talk about one key factor that often surprises people: rarity. You might look at this coin and think, it's just 2 cents. How rare could it be? But rarity isn't just about numbers. It's about survival. How many coins were kept in pristine condition over the decades? How many were used, lost, or discarded? Every coin that made it through the years in mint condition is a piece of history that is harder and harder to find. And that scarcity drives value, often in ways that casual observers don't expect. Collectors love the story behind coins as much as the coin itself. The 1997 South African 2-cent coin represents a moment in time, a post-apartheid South Africa, embracing a new identity, reflecting a country in transition. For men in their mid-50s to 60s, many of you will remember the changes, the energy, and the hope of that era. Owning a coin like this is like holding a tangible memory of those years, a connection to a past that shaped the present, and beyond history and nostalgia, there's the thrill of investment. Coins have long been recognized as a tangible, enduring form of value. Unlike paper money, which can lose purchasing power through inflation, well-preserved coins often increase in value over time, especially those with limited mintages or historical significance. And the 1997 2-cent coin is catching the attention of investors and collectors alike. Now, imagine you've discovered one of these coins tucked away in your collection, still shining like it did the day it left the mint. Perhaps it's been hidden in a drawer for decades, overlooked as ordinary currency. Suddenly, it's no longer just a coin, it's a ticket to history, a conversation starter, and potentially a valuable asset. And for those who appreciate the thrill of discovery, there's nothing quite like it. The appeal of coins is universal. They are small, portable, and packed with story. You can hold history in the palm of your hand, and that's exactly what makes coins such an enduring hobby. Men in their 50s and 60s often find themselves drawn to coins because they represent continuity, heritage, and tangible achievement. And when that coin is as rare and meaningful as the 1997 2 cents from South Africa, the attraction becomes irresistible. Collectors often say that patience is the key. A coin's value isn't always immediately obvious, but with the right insight, timing, and knowledge, what once seemed ordinary can become extraordinary. This coin has quietly increased in prominence among collectors, and experts predict its value will continue to rise as fewer pristine examples remain in circulation. By now, you might be wondering, what's this coin actually worth? Here's the moment that makes history and investment converge. The 1997 South African 2-cent coin, in excellent condition, can fetch up to $30,000 on the collector's market. That's right, what may have once seemed like a tiny, insignificant coin could be a treasure of remarkable value. It's proof that sometimes, the most unassuming items hold the greatest surprises. So, if you have a collection tucked away or inherit coins from decades past, it's worth taking a closer look. That overlooked coin jar, that dusty drawer in the attic, could contain history and wealth beyond your expectations. And that's the thrill of coin collecting, discovering the extraordinary within the ordinary, understanding the story each coin carries, and realizing that sometimes, fortune really does hide in plain sight. Remember, subscribing ensures you won't miss these stories of discovery, investment, and history. Because every coin has a tale, every collector has a journey, and together we explore the moments in time that shape not only our collections, but our understanding of the world. So next time you glance at that 2-cent coin, remember, it's more than just metal. It's a fragment of South African history, a collector's dream, and for the right person, a treasure worth $30,000. Closing smile, confident tone, hit that subscribe button now and join a community of explorers who uncover hidden treasures, one coin at a time. Because you never know when a simple coin might change everything. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of these fascinating stories from the world of rare coins and treasures. You won't want to miss what I'm about to show you. Imagine for a moment holding a small, seemingly ordinary coin in your hand. At first glance, it might not look like much, Just a simple 2-cent piece from South Africa, dated 1999. But history has a way of hiding incredible value in the most unassuming objects. To most people, it's just another coin you could find in your pocket or a drawer at home. But to the discerning collector, to those who know the stories behind coins, this little piece of metal can hold a world of mystery, prestige, and, yes, fortune. Coins have always been more than currency. They are snapshots of the past, reflecting the culture, economy, and artistry of their time. Each mark, each engraving, is a tiny window into history. The South African 2-cent coin from 1999 is no exception. At first, it might seem modern, almost mundane, yet the story it carries is anything but ordinary. This coin, a simple 2-cent piece, represents the tail end of an era in South African coinage. By 1999, the country was transitioning, leaving behind the last remnants of older minting traditions while stepping boldly into a new economic age. It is a symbol, a relic, and, for those who understand, a gem waiting to be discovered. Now, why would anyone pay attention to a 2-cent coin? Well, the magic lies in rarity and condition. Most coins minted in the millions lose their allure quickly because they are everywhere. But occasionally, through a quirk of production or history, a coin emerges that's special, one that collectors would give anything to own. Perhaps it has a subtle misprint, a double strike, or a finish that was never meant to leave the mint. Maybe a small batch of coins ended up in circulation despite being intended for collectors only. These little anomalies are what turn a humble coin into a legend. And the 1999 South African 2-cent is one of those rare finds that whispers stories of value and prestige. Think about the generations that have come and gone. Imagine a man your age holding coins as a boy, maybe dropping a few in a jar, not thinking twice about the simple copper disc. Yet decades later, that very coin might be worth more than some cars, more than a vacation home. History has a way of rewarding patience and knowledge. And in the world of coin collecting, the right piece can change everything. It's not just about the monetary value, it's about pride, about knowing that you've held something others covet. That quiet thrill of discovery is part of what makes this hobby so addictive. When you look at a coin like this, you're not just looking at metal, you're looking at a story. The South African 2-cent coin of 1999 carries with it the echoes of a nation redefining itself. It tells of a time when the world was changing, when economies were shifting, and yet the artistry and precision of minting remained constant. Each detail, the tiny engravings, the careful balance of design and weight, speaks to a dedication that modern mass production rarely achieves. And for collectors, that attention to detail is everything. For many men watching this, coins represent more than investment, they are a connection to the past. A reminder of simpler times, of hobbies, passions, and memories long forgotten. Perhaps you remember searching the couch cushions for loose change as a boy, or trading coins with friends. That nostalgia fuels the excitement when you realize that a coin you might have overlooked is, in fact, extraordinarily valuable. There's an almost cinematic thrill in discovering that what seemed ordinary is actually extraordinary. And the South African 2-cent coin from 1999 is a perfect example. It may have spent years unnoticed, but for the person who recognizes its worth, it becomes a prized possession. Collectors around the world understand that value isn't always obvious. It's about knowledge, timing, and a keen eye for detail. You could pass a rare coin 100 times and never notice it. But the moment you do, the realization hits hard, the significance, the rarity, the potential value. It's a quiet moment of triumph that comes to those who are observant, patient, and passionate. And in a world full of fleeting trends, there's something deeply satisfying about holding an item that has stood the test of time, both in history and in monetary worth. Now, I know what you're thinking, surely a 2-cent coin isn't worth much. But that's where most people get it wrong. History is filled with tales of overlooked treasures. Coins that were once considered insignificant suddenly emerge from private collections, garages, and forgotten drawers to astonish the collector's world. And the 1999 South African 2-cent coin is one of those treasures. Its rarity, condition, and historical context converge to create something far greater than its face value. It's the kind of coin that makes seasoned collectors lean forward, heart racing, whispering to themselves that they've just stumbled upon something remarkable. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. That unassuming South African 2-cent coin from 1999, the one that most people would toss aside without a second thought, is valued at a staggering $6,000. Yes, $6,000 for what looks like a humble piece of copper. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most extraordinary things hide in plain sight. And for those who recognize it, it's not just about money, it's about being part of a story, holding a tangible piece of history that few others can claim. So, as you go about your day, consider the quiet treasures around you. Look at the coins in your pocket, the objects gathering dust in drawers, and remember that value often lies beneath the surface. And if you want to keep discovering stories like this, if you want to be the first to learn about coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures that could change everything, make sure you're subscribed. You won't want to miss what comes next. History, rarity, and patience, these are the keys to uncovering hidden gems. And the South African 2-cent coin of 1999 stands as a perfect example. From humble beginnings to a remarkable valuation, it reminds us that treasures are often closer than we think. And for the collectors who understand its significance, it's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things carry the greatest rewards.